Do you ever fall into the trap of believing that success just isn't really for you? Like it's meant for other people, but not you. Well, so many of us believe that we're defined by where we live, what we look like, or labels that somebody else or society has slapped on us. So how can we challenge and break through those beliefs and even recognize that we have them in the first place? Dr. Dionna Hancock-Johnson is a psychologist and certified life coach who says you are limited only by your own beliefs and what others have taught you. You can learn to detox from that faulty thinking. And so she's here to tell us how to do that and how we can be successful. Welcome, Dr. Dionna.
Wow. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be with you guys this morning.
Well, we're glad that you're here talking about an important thing that is often a difficult thing to talk about, which are those held beliefs that we have about ourselves that are probably not true. So my first question is how do you challenge and break through those kinds of beliefs, specifically that we're defined by where we live, what we look like, or labels that society has given to us?
Well, first, it starts with believing in yourself, believing that you can, trusting that you can. It's something I talk about in my book, Be Your Own Life Coach, in Chapter 3. It's just learn to trust yourself, trust your decisions, trust where you want to go in life. A lot of times we feel like we are not products of our environment, and I have to agree that we are products of our, I have to disagree and say we are products of our environment because we are prone to where we are and what we know and where we were born. But we do not have to be if we push further in life. And so one of the things that people can do is just learn to reach beyond your circumstances. Know that there are resources for you. Don't get trapped into thinking that you don't have an opportunity out. I was also in that situation growing up, as the oldest of 8 in D.C. and didn't have much. I flipped everything that I did have, which was nothing, into where I am today.
It seems like people will look back on this time and they'll recognize that it was one crucial stepping out or one decision that they made, and that sort of gets the ball rolling. So how can we have the courage or the strength to be able to take that first step?
To stop believing that you don't deserve more or better. Everyone deserves an opportunity. Everyone deserves a chance to keep moving. You can make a choice to either make things happen or let things happen. And I believe that we often just get comfortable in whatever we're doing because we're just not motivated enough to make changes that we see we can make or where we can make changes because of the rejection. I've had a lot of rejection in life. I mean, I didn't get here just by it being easy and someone said yes. It was a lot of no's along the way. But I stayed motivated internally, and I trusted that if this is where I wanted to go, this is where I was going.
Talk a little bit more about your experience with the fact in mind that a lot of us aren't even aware of the faulty thinking that we have about ourselves or the false beliefs that we hold. And sometimes those habits are really hard to break. How did you do it?
For me, it had to be really internal that I was going through enough stuff in my circumstances growing up that I really just wanted to reach beyond it. There was a lot of things that I dealt with. I mean, I even dealt with molestation. I dealt with a lot of things within my own family. I dealt with a lot of things that kind of just tried to hold me back. I used to believe that I was born to fail. So if we have listeners today who feel like they cannot make it, I thought I was born to fail because from day one, I felt that things happened in my life that kept challenging me. But I stayed true to myself. I stayed believing in myself. And a lot of times people don't realize that they have that limited thinking, that you're only limited by your own beliefs and what others have taught you. You can learn to detox from faulty thinking. And limited and faulty thinking is when you believe you can only do what you're currently doing in your life and nothing else.
What kind of risks do you have to take to make that to break through that kind of thinking?
A lot. A lot of risks within yourself, a lot of risk with the others. One of the things is that I saw visions that were beyond what people around me saw. I saw visions of my life somewhere else. I knew that it was going to be a rough start. I knew that once I got the hang of, okay, this is where I am, I kept telling myself this is not where I'm going to stay. And I feel like people just don't understand that you have that opportunity that are within your reach, even more nowadays with the resources that we have. I didn't start off with my with a computer and the internet. I mean, my personal statement to the University of Oregon was written on a typewriter. I mean, if you can even imagine what that was like, you just have to really have that drive within yourself to know that you can do this. I can reach beyond my circumstances. I can make things happen, and I do deserve it. A lot of times you just feel like you don't deserve it because so much bad has happened. The odds are stacked against you. You just feel like you cannot get what you want to get in life, or that it's just not for you.
So how did you find that courage? Where did you get that drive? Because I think a lot of people will be listening and thinking, well, I'm not motivated to it. I feel like I've been so beaten down.
I felt that I was within the same place as everyone else. I felt like I was that person who was dealing with the same mindset that it wasn't for me, or this is where I'm supposed to be. As I said earlier, I felt that I was born to fail. But I also felt that either I wanted to be here and I was going to stay here, or I needed to make something different. I was the first to leave D.C. to go all the way to the University of Oregon, and we drove on a 5-day trip across the country, and there was a lot of challenges along the way. We didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't have money to get to school. We didn't know anything. It was like a week before school, and I remember just putting my last $50 in church and just praying. I stayed prayed up for a long time, and, you know, for those who are believers, prayer do work. I mean, it started with me believing in me. And then believe it in others. I wanted better for myself. I wanted better for me so that I could be better for others. But I wasn't even thinking that I was going to be better for others. I was just thinking I was going to be better for me. Yeah. That Be Your Own Life Coach brand is just a mark to help people figure out where they want to go that I didn't have before. And I felt like it was just for me to get further so that I can help my family, I can help my siblings, you know. And then I eventually came to a place in life where I felt like I had the voice for me to speak to others. And another thing about myself and the internal drive is once I started getting the grasp that I can move further and I can use the resources I had, I felt like I was a rare breed. I felt like I was someone who was born to do what I'm doing, which is why I'm here talking to you guys today. And so I think everyone has that opportunity within themselves. Everyone has a story to tell. It's just how you tell it, and start telling it. Don't sit on something that's good that others need to hear for so long. Just begin sharing. Along the way, I also came up with different acronyms, you know, models and things that help me. Like my growth model is one, you know, and with that model, it taught me and myself that you have an opportunity to grow, and you can always continue to grow. And I can share more of that with you guys if you like.
Yeah, what is that acronym that you have for the word growth?
So G is for grit. It's being grinding in your grinding. Stay strong with grinding. Stay strong with finding a way out. Resilient. Recover from the setbacks quickly. Be strong in who you are. Optimism is for, O is for optimism. Be bright in your thinking. You know, sometimes we feel like we're limited with that thinking. Again, that faulty thinking. You don't want to have that thinking when you're moving forward. You have to say that I can do this. I can be bright. I can be bold. And W is for work ethic. It is being bold in your stance, going after what you want in life, having great work ethic. Tenacious is for T. Stay true to who you are. Be firm in what you want in life. Be firm. People are going to say no. People are going to tell you it's not going to happen. Be firm. Be strong. Stand against all of those things. And H is for hope against all odds. I mean, odds will be stacked against you, and I mean, they're going to be high. But you have to believe you can overcome that, and I'm living proof of that.
That's a really beautiful acronym, growth. We're talking with Dr. Dionna Hancock-Johnson, the author of the book Be Your Own Life Coach. And I really have enjoyed some of the symbolism and the things that you've talked about when you talk about getting up out of your situation, and how yours was a literal physical move across the country to get out of the situation that you were in. I want to put this case scenario in front of you, because I think that there are a lot of people listening that are like, yeah, I need to do this. And they can hear your words, Dionna, and be like, yes, I believe in it. And they're like, I'm going to get out of this situation. And then they're doing really good. And then something slaps them in the face. Yeah. And then they're like, no, I guess I was just lying to myself, or I'm bound to be back this way.
So, you know, not only do you think that you are not a person that can make change happen, or you can overcome what you're going through, because trust me, there was a lot of tough roads ahead, but I worked through them one by one, time by time, and I got myself together. It was not easy, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick. It can be a long time. It took years before I even got to the place I wanted to be, which is here, leaving D.C. to go to Oregon. If I didn't start that, if I didn't trust myself that that's where I need to be, and I didn't follow the direction that God had paid for me, then I wouldn't even be here today in L.A., So one of the other things is that people feel like, again, they just don't deserve. Mm-hmm. They don't deserve to be happy. And
also, it's for other people, not me.
It's for other people. Mm-hmm. It's not for me because I already went through this and went through that. Think about this, to everyone else that's listening. Think about this. Those people who do have what they have, the other people that you see them doing what they're doing in life, they too had to get to that place in their life. They too had to overcome obstacles. They too had to see that they could move beyond their circumstances. They didn't just get there just overnight. And if it was something where someone was given that silver spoon and they lived a life, trust me, they're still going through that struggle today because they think they have it all, but yet they're still not happy with what they have.
Yeah.
So
I never became complacent in life. You know what I mean? Like content with anything.
This is enough. And then I'm wondering what it is that your life looks like now that brings you the most satisfaction. Then, because for those listening, sometimes just hearing the hope of someone else is enough to be a guiding light for them. Talk a little bit about your life today.
Well, I have 2 kids. My son is 13. My daughter is 4. She just turned 4. And we live here in L.A. They're both in the entertainment industry. I started off grinding here myself. I did a book signing tour before my first book came out. Before my second book came out, my first book was Where Did My Half Brother Come From? And that talks about blended families. And I did a book tour, and I came here really to just show that I could do it. And there was a lot of people within my own family that was like, okay, you shouldn't do that. Why are you doing that? You already got your degrees, and it makes no sense. You're leaving family to go and follow something that you can't see. And I'm thinking, I can see it. You can't see it. Mm-hmm. So today my life reflects a lot of that. I've had great clientele. I'm also a life coach that works with clients in the entertainment industry. I work with clients all over the world, but I'm here working with clients in the industry. I'm also, a psychologist, a professor. So I do a lot of things that I feel is now giving back to help people see that they can follow their dreams. I'm still motivated. I can't say that I am complacent. I mean, I am blessed and I'm thankful, but I am not content. I'm always wanting to go for more. I'm always looking for a direction to change things up, to figure out what is better for me, what is going to be better for my kids, how do we move in this direction. We all have a brand and a business within my home, and so just moving the heights up any way that I can. One of the biggest things that's been a blessing to me is having that wake-up call that I need to give back. I do motivational speaking now. I just spoke at a graduation in June in front of almost 5,000 people. So, I do a lot of moving around to give back now to help others see that they can make their dreams come true too.
The name of your book is Be Your Own Life Coach, How to Coach Yourself into What You Want. Are you, in a way, putting yourself out of work if you're training us all to do what you do?
And doing it for free, too, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Well, listen, my whole thinking and brand of Be Your Own Life Coach came to me, free thinking. And I believe that was a sign that came from above. And once I became that voice of being your own life coach, I started trying to show people that they can do it. And it's not about teaching people how to become a certified life coach. It's more about teaching you how to follow what your heart desires. And, I'm not trying to put myself out of work, but I do believe there's something in the power of giving back to others and speaking, and if I can be paid for those things, it'll be great. But it's something about following your dream and your path. Worry about the money later, because the money will come if you love doing what you're doing. Yeah. There was a saying that if you enjoy doing what you're doing, then the money will come later. So, that's kind of what I follow in this motto. And it's just I feel like if I have it to give, it's hard to hold it in. And I think I'm born to share. Instead of being born to fail, I'm born to share. I'm born to help others. I'm born to inspire others.
We've got about 30 seconds left. In that time, there's that someone that's just struggling. Give them that oomph to make that first step.
So if anyone's listening, you can follow 4 simple steps. Determine what your goals are. Define what those goals are. Design those goals. Do the work. Deliver each goal each step of the way, and just believe that you can. You can make it. start with a pen and a pad. You don't have to start with a computer. You don't have to start with technology. Start with wherever you feel you're most comfortable at. And if you have any other questions or you want to follow me, Dr. Dionna Life Coach on social media, my website is drdionna.com. That's DRDIONNA.com. And I'm willing to just kind of help you walk through what you need to walk through in life to get where you feel you need to be, where you want to be in life.
Dr. Dionna Hancock-Johnson, thanks for being with us.